Hi everyone. My name is MD Rohan Mia. My student ID is EGS 20004. So now today our presentation is neural netless organization Autosphy. So my teammate here is my teammate Radhan Ahmed Rohan and MD Saiful Jaman Ekanto. Today we explain neural-less organization autosphere. This presentation examines how leadership behavior, system design, and delayed intervention and collectively triggered organization failure. Rather than focusing on individual blame, our analysis take an autosphere approach, diagnosing root causes, tracing the poison cascade, and identifying where effective governance and intervention should have occurred. Our goal is to translate this insight into physical lesson for preventing similar failures in real organizations. In our first slide, we first provide an argument based on our diagnostic evaluation of two series pictures that depict the start and finish of the poison cascade. In image 4, we observe Mr. Albert playing his role as the CTO by standing his authority. What we as a group concluded with respect to diagnosis stage 3, abuse supervision with toxic leadership, manifesting these three pieces of evidence reinforce the fact that Albert is highly authoritative and dominating. First, the aggressive dominating posture. Albert leaves instant power in a distance of about 1.5 meters between himself and his team. A physical expression of psychological distance. Second, his gesture is not instructive and accuracy, which is in line with the HR records regarding the public criticism. Third, the overall reaction displayed by the team, namely Sarah withdrawing, Jade become defiant, and Kevin become anxious, is a typical reaction to fear-based leadership. This is compared to image 9, our last scene, dynamic system failure with organization criticism being utilization. Albert is replaced by Jade as the boss of the office, but the riot still does not go away, but on contrary has become even bigger. This confirms our important discovery. It is sure to change nothing by replacing the leader and keeping the system. People have become over time failure to achieve a positive change which is learned, helpless, and scalable to the organization level. In our next slide, the second point of our presentation explore an important issues in contemporary world. Can AI be used to trust diagnose human organization behavior? The analysis was done parallelly, human iteration and AI interception. The findings show its potential and danger. In image 3, Sarah thinking of equating the human analysis showed that job demands resources model failure was the cause of burnout, and AI just observed employee this game. The difference is accuracy is finding underlining the mechanism 42% is comparable to that one study of 2023 research. One of the LLCM shortcomings in organization diagnosis conducted by Chen and Chen. And the next slide. This slide outlines what should we happen in a two critical moments to stop the poison cascade. In the first confrontation, instead of Albert aggressive and fear induction behavior, the organization should have intervened early through dialogue-based problem solving, impartial third-party mediation, and the establishment of psychological safety. This would have addressed the conflict before it escalated. In second moment, Sarah exit should not have been treated as an informal departure, but as a warning signal. A structured retention intervention supported by systemic exit interview and a JDR workload and resource evaluation could have created organization learning. The key insight is early warning system and structured intervention. Not silence or leadership replacement are the most effective way to prevent long-term systemic failure. So this is all from me. So now I will passing my next teammate, Mr. Saifuzjaman Ekanto. He will illustrate all of rest of the also continue the rest of the presentation. Hey, thank you so much.
My name is MD Saifuzjaman Ekanto. My student ID UGS 2003. Now I will describe the presentation. Slide number 4. Yes, the slide outlines what should have happened at two critical moments to stop the poison cascade. In the first confrontation, instead of Albert, aggressive and fear including behavior, the organization should have intervened early through dialogue-based problem solving. impartial third-party mediation, and the establishment of psychological safety. This would have addressed the conflict before it escalated. In the second moment, Sarah's exit should not have been treated as an informal departure, but but as a warning signal. It's a structured retention intervention supported by a systematic exit. Interview and GTR work board and resource evaluation could have created organizational learning. The key insight is that early warning system had an structured intervention, not silence or leadership replacement, are the most effective way to prevent long-term systematic failure. Yes, now I will describe the slide of number 5. Abusive supervision theory in 2000, Tipper concluded that the cost posed by abusive supervisors were direct 27% turnover, 41% less job satisfaction, and 300% increased healthcare expense. The leadership style of Albert, which is characterized by fear, corresponds to all 12 signs of abusive supervision. Toxic leaders need vulnerable followers and favorable conditions. Albert has made both. The ambition of Jade makes her vulnerable, and the relaxed ethics of the board provide the environment. Principle 3 Board of Ethical Leadership, a study by Brown 2005, supports the idea that ethical leadership does not simply mean that an individual is not abusing, but he or she is displaying moral examples. Albert is a symbol of total moral vacuumity. I think it should be okay.
My name is MD Redon Ahmed Rohan. My student ID is PFEC2335. Here is my student ID. I am going to start with slide 6. The fifth point of our group comes to an unpleasant truth. The dysfunctional methodology we use to identify the dysfunction of neural netless was dysfunctional itself. The undercover operation, which was sanctioned by the board, had 4 ethical breaches. To begin with, from constant violation, workers were subjected to being observed without their knowledge, hence contravening the principle of voluntary participation that formed the foundation of the Nuremberg Code. Second, active deception. It was not a passive observation but rather deliberate hiding, the so-called discretionary omissions Cyber 2018. Third, privacy invasion. Covert surveillance in the workplace is an action that infringes reasonable expectations of privacy that is set under legal precedents. Fourth, risks of psychological harm. Revelation of the concluded observation leads to betrayal trauma, which is permanent harm to others. In the next slide, Z as new boss in a state of still persistent confusion is the last picture because it gives the forecast. Poor without radical measures. This picture is used to demonstrate that it takes the replacement of people to change processes. Like her technical ability, Z does not lack the same low agreeableness and Machiavellian characteristics that will replace toxicity. The system has reached what researchers describe as toxical homeostasis. It remains dysfunctional despite the change of the parts. That's all from our presentation. Thank you.